नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Bhagavati Vasudha Devi Dasi from Mangalore, India. Please forgive me for stopping all of you from ecstatic chanting. Let us move on to the next part of the session. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name given by Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures and portions to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Next part of the session is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna Vasudha. Mataji, this is Kamala Das, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Kamadi ki Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call and giving your valuable association. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjuli Leela Devi Dasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Leela Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru and Krishna Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vendra Gopika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Yoga, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Lal.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi, picked right.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Valli Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas pranams unto you and all the devotees here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Ekaradhika Leela from Iowa, United States.
Hare Krishna Ekaradhika Leela Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am Sushmita from Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sushmita Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vasudha Bhagavati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada.
Hare Krishna Aditi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are really fortunate to have His Grace Samik Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 7.2.48 onwards. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji for the brief introduction on Samik Rishi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning we have with us His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services for the devotee community and served the society by donating for many projects. For the propagation of Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji was instrumental in purchasing a house for the Bhaktivedanta Institute, an office for Back to Godhead magazine, and donated the very beautiful Sri Sri Radha Bihari deities to the ISKCON temple in Philadelphia in the early 80s. In the early 90s, Prabhuji was key in taking the initiative to construct a new home for Sri Sri Radha Damodar in Gita Nagari. His Grace Samik Rishi also served as temple president of ISKCON New Jersey from 1996 to 2010. Prabhuji started Every Town and Village Trust, funded by his own life savings and earnings to serve Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON in various ways. A few years ago, he embarked on a project called the Krishna Mini Temple, in which 3,000 mini temples were produced that included deities as well as a place for Srila Prabhupada's books. For the many years, he has been serving Srila Prabhupada's mission as a traveling preacher, visiting various places in India, various other countries, and he also regularly shares Krishna Katha on various conference calls. He is an initiating ISKCON guru. Samik Rishi Prabhu's main focus has been developing Kargan Navavrajdam, a 50-acre temple complex and community in Madhya Pradesh, India, to serve the worldwide devotee community. You can get more information on this project from www.everytownandvillage.org. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Prabhu.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji, for that wonderful introduction. Looks like Prabhuji is set to join.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anaparanya from Sharjah.
Hare Krishna Anita Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Bring a call to Prabhuji Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Ram, Ram Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram.
Yeah, Prabhuji is joining in few minutes. You can wait.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavas
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. We are just done with the introduction, Prabhuji. You can take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay. Om
Today's verse is
Agyantiman.
Yes, Prabhuji. Today's verse is 7.2.48. Hare Krishna.
Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragana Thanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak on this wonderful verse. The topic is Hiranyaksha, king of the demons. Little bit background about this particular verse is Hiranyakashipu's reaction after his death. Hiranyaksha's death, he becomes very, very furious and he wanted to take somehow he wanted to take revenge about this kill that Vishnu is my enemy. So he performed the death rites of his brother and Hiranyakashipu. He spoke to his family members, afflicted family members, and so he's giving him some instruction and giving him a story about King Suyagya. He died in a battle, and his queens did not allow the dead body to be burned. But then Yamraj comes to the form in the form of a little boy. You have already read all that, and instructs the queen of Suyagya, the supreme creator, always protects us. The eternal soul is separate from the material body, is always invisible. The soul's misidentification leads to the bondage and misery. Those who know about the soul do not lament. So this is that one who thinks that we are the body and wants to enjoy the material life, then they are really in misery. It is just a dream-like state that we are trying to enjoy, but it's a very, very temporary, flickering, and all things are false in the sense that it just goes away. Like in a dream, we see something attacking us, and then when you wake up, oh, it was just a dream. It is not real. Same thing, long dream in the daytime, short dream in the night time, but both are false because it is related to the material body. Material body is dead even at this time, but it is alive because of the presence of the soul. So we should give really careful about the soul, or what is the soul's duty, how the soul should. And so, what is the food for the soul? And we should really try to give the food to the soul. So we'll read text number 48. Vititha viniveshe shoyam yad guneshwartha dragvachah yatha manoratha swapna sarva maitrin yakam prasha. It is fruitless to see and talk of the material modes of nature, three modes of material nature, and it is fruitless because it is the material modes, not the spiritual modes. And their resultant so-called happiness and distress as if they were factual. But acting under the material modes, whether it is a mode of ignorance, passion, or goodness, they are had to do with the material modes. It has nothing to do with the spirit soul. But we react according to the mode what we are in. Modes are awarded to us by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or you may say by the nature, according to our behavior, according to our culture, according to our thoughts, dreams, activities in the past life. So many things determine. It is usually combination of the modes. We are never in one mode. If it is one mode like goodness, Shuddha Sattva, it is Vasudeva Sattva, or it is transcendental. But if it is always mixed with some amount of passion, ignorance, and goodness, it is always there. So whichever mode is higher, then we call him that he is in mode of passion, or he is in mode of ignorance, or in mode of goodness. So when the mind wanders during the day and a man begins to think himself extremely important, or when the dreams at night we see a beautiful woman enjoying with him, these are merely false dreams. You may say, I dreamt it, yes, but it is not there, it does not exist. Same thing in the daytime that we are thinking. So it is all in the mind. That mind is enjoying, somebody is enjoying some particular food, say you may say. One may enjoy, one may be a poison for the another person. So it is not in the substance that we can enjoy. It is just in the mind is the one. Mana eva manushanam karanam bandha moksha. Our karan or bandha moksha. It is all according to our mind, where the mind is there. The happiness and distress caused by the material senses should be understood to be meaningless. Under these modes, whatever happiness and distress we feel, it is meaningless. So purport, the happiness and distress derived from the activities of the material senses are not actual happiness and distress. From the material senses, whatever we feel, that it is very nice, it is actually it is not happiness, or it is not a distress. It is a temporarily thoughts of the mind wherever it is dwells and it feels I'm enjoying because of the previous experiences. But it is not a factual or fact. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita speaks of happiness that is transcendental to the material conception of life. Sukham atyantikim yattat buddhi grayam atindriyam. So this is the verse that has been given on 6th chapter. Sukham atyantikim yattat buddhi grayam atindriyam vetti yatra na chaivayam sthita chalati tatvata. It's a 21st verse of 6th chapter. So the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, once the mind is completely restrained from material mental activity by practice of yoga, means to control the mind, that it does not dwell on something and feel I'm enjoying. This perfection is characterized one's ability to see the self by the pure mind. Our mind is contaminated by different modes, and to relish and rejoice in the self. Self means in the soul itself. In that jayas state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, because our real state of the soul is to engage in loving devotional service to the Krishna. Think of Krishna, think of his some service. Rashikesha, Rashikena, Sevanam Bhaktir, uchyate. The real bhakti is when we use our, even if it is material senses, but when you use in the service of the master of the senses, then it is transcendental. That is real bhakti. Established as one never departs from the truth. And upon gaining this thing, he thinks there is no greater gain. As that is the gain for the soul. Soul is established and it's a natural position. Jivera Surupa, Krishna Nityada. And eternally we are in our real position. Then there is nothing, no lamentation, no hankering. Hani, Lav, Jivan, Maran, Yash, Apyash. These are all at the hands of Vidhi, our destiny. And we should accept or we should tolerate. Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya, Sitoshna Sukadukada, Agama Paino Nityam, Tastitikshava Bharata. I can't ever pass these. We go through many stages, but we should tolerate and continue with our devotional service. So in such a position, this is the freedom. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material context. So Chit Shakti, that is the internal energy, internal potential, transcendental. So in this way, so this is the yoga system. So there are different kinds of samadhi, but best samadhi is always think of Krishna. Thinking. Best practice of yoga in this age is Krishna consciousness, which is not baffling. A Krishna conscious person is so happy in his occupation that he does not aspire after any other happiness. There are many impediments, especially in this age of hypocrisy, are practicing Hatha Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Gyan Yoga, but there is no such problem in executing Bhakti Yoga. Also, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga is similar because in Karma Yoga you use your senses in the service of the master of the senses. So that is also Bhakti Yoga. So we need like certain demands of the body is there. As long as we are having the material body, there are certain demands, but it should be kept to minimum and it should not hamper our Krishna consciousness. You do it like we have to eat, then offer to Krishna. So there is a method. You have to earn for taking care of the temple in the home, a family that you have to take care. You do that. So Grahastha life, out of all the four, Grahastha life is also glorified because Grahastha life, Grahastha people, they take care of brahmacharyas, vanprasthis, sannyasis. To find a real brahmacharya is difficult in this age. Vanprasth is practically not there. Sannyas is also very, very rare, and many people who took sannyas, that is for their material gain or easy life, finding respect, nice prasad, nice palatial staying from one place to another. So we have to really find a person that whom we could follow, that it should coming in the parampara and a paramhansa kind of devotee. Otherwise, it is if you follow anybody, then there may be a chance of falling down. One has to meet the demands of the body, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. But a person who is in pure bhakti or Krishna consciousness does not arouse the senses while meeting the demands of the body. Rather, he accepts the bare necessities of life, making the best use of the bad bargain. We have now this body and we have to take care of it, but it has to be minimum and enjoys transcendental happiness and Krishna consciousness. So he is careless towards incidental occurrences, accidents, disease, scarcity, and even the death of a most dear relative. He becomes careless as if it does not affect him. He is always alert to execute his duty in Krishna consciousness. That is called Bhakti Yoga. Accidents never defeat him from his duty. Agama Paino Nityas Tanstitiksha Bharata. He endures all such incidental occurrences because he knows that they come and go and do not affect his duties. In this way, he achieves the highest perfection in yoga practice. So, when our senses are purified of material contamination, they become atindriya, transcendental senses. So senses are beyond the material senses, they are transcendental. I mean, senses are the same, but they enjoy in spiritual activities because that is their eternal position, that is natural. But other things are eating, sleeping, mating, depending, or as far as our needs are there, because of the human body, that is fine. But beyond that, if you think that I am the body, I must enjoy my senses to the fullest extent, after death nothing happens, so then that is, after death we become ashes. So just enjoy as much as possible. So that kind of thoughts are completely wrong. That keeps us perpetual our life in the material world. So when the transcendental senses are engaged in the service of the master of the senses, now transcendental senses means when same senses, hands, legs, or tongue, or eyes, they are engaged in transcendental activity, then they are transcendental. The body becomes transcendental. Or you are Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means not you are alive, you are working, but you are free from material consciousness. You are free. You are engaged in the spiritual consciousness. Rishikesh, one man can derive real transcendental pleasure. Whatever distress or happiness we manufacture by mental concoction to the subtle mind has no reality. Subtle mind means mind, intelligence. So intelligence is also subtle and false ego. That does not come in the picture, but mind is always. And intelligence also supports the mind. Okay, go ahead. Dwell on something that your senses become pleased. So it is a simple mental concoction. One should therefore not imagine so-called happiness through mental concoction. Rather, the best course is to engage the mind in the service of the Lord, Rishikesha, and thus feel real blissful life. As a matter of fact, even Miss Universe are the most beautiful, and you enjoy whatever lying down, and yeah, but that is all false conception in the mind. There is no happiness in such thing, and we fall down and remain in the material world for long millions of years. So the best thing is to use the bad bargain that we have body, there is some sense enjoyment just to keep our body and soul together and continue your life, and whatever distresses or whatever difficulties come, then you tolerate them. There is a Vedic statement, apam somam amrata bhuma apsaravobhir viharam, which with reference to such a conception, one wants to go to the heavenly planets to enjoy with the young girls there and drink soma ras. Such imaginary pleasure, however, has no value. It confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, antavantu phalam tesham, antavanta tu phalam tesham, tad bhavati alpamedasam, devan devayajo yanti, madbhakta yanti mamapi. That whatever that this pearl, the fruits of this thinking in this way, is, they go away. Even if you go to Swarga Loka, Jan Loka, Tap Loka, Mahar Loka, Brahma Bhuna Loka, Punaravati, again and again you go back and forth in various species of life. It says that the one who are thinking of Devta, like people who worship demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but by devotee, so there is a difference. And they go to demigod, and then when their fruits are finished, they fall down again to the material world to do the activity. So why to go yo-yo, go up, down, other so many sides? The best thing is to engage in devotional service. So the people who are in devotional service, they reach to the abode of Krishna. From here, one never falls down. He remains there. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Why we worship demigods? To get the benedictions very quickly. Like Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. So he is pleased very easy. And you have heard about this Brakasura, Bhasmasura, and how he wanted, who could be pleased easily? It's Lord Shiva. So he put a fire here, and then putting his flesh, he was cutting. And when Lord Shiva did not appear, he was ready to cut his head and offer in the place in the yagya. Then Lord Shiva appeared. What do you want? Don't do such heinous activity or this severe activity. So he says, whosoever, like he initially asked to be immortal, but he could not, just like Hiranyakashipu. So he said that whosoever head I touch, he should get burned. He saw Parvati and wanted to enjoy the Parvati. Then he goes behind Lord Shiva and to burn him, and he's running here and there. So it is all kamestasthar hritagana prapadyante anya devata. People worship so many demigods when they are agitated by so many kamnas, so many desires. The desires is like a kind of lust also if it is material. But if it is spiritual, that is Krishna consciousness. So desire has to be there. Thinking, feeling, willing will be there. But it is should be used for Krishna service rather than for material enjoyment. Even if by fruitive activities are worship of the demigods, one is elevated to the higher planetary system for sense enjoyment. This situation, his situation is condemned in Bhagavad Gita as Antavantu. Means it is like a positive bank balance. You go on withdrawing, it would be zero balance. Your check would be bounced. So same thing when you go to higher planet, then it is because of you have done some pious activity in the past and you get the result. And same thing when you have done something wrong, you suffer. But that is everything is temporary in the material world. Everything is changeable. So when you do bad things, you go to the lower planetary system, suffer in the hell. But when you have suffered enough, then naturally you will come back again to this material world, particularly Bharatvarsha is Karma Bhumi, or even whole planet is Karma Bhumi. And Karma Bhumi, where you engage in Karma Bhumi, effect is only for human beings. There is no new karma comes to the animals or lower animals, because we have given a higher intelligence, and use of the higher intelligence is necessary to elevate ourselves to the spiritual kingdom, or where our real home, back to Godhead, that is our real home. And material world is a temporary, like a bridge to cross through the human body and devotional service. Devotional service is the boat. The human body is a boat that could cross you, and that there should be a guru who is like a captain for that boat. And by the mercy of the guru and by your effort, there are good breezes, and that could take you to the shore of the other side where there is a spiritual world. But if we just remain without taking mercy of the guru, without practicing Krishna consciousness, then all these things are futile. If you think there is a daydream, there is a night dream. So night dream is there, it is temporary, and you know it is. But day also, whatever you make plans, that is going to go away. At the death, everything is all gone. So there is, and at any in between also, any time it could be taken away. Whatever facility has been given could be taken. You have nice job, good paying, but maybe you may be just you would be forced to leave your job. Or by death, everything is separated. You may love your child, wife, or husband, or parents. Then you love it as a duty, but not that this is all in all, and I'm meant to just do that. That everything should be transferred to Krishna, and so that is Krishna consciousness. Whatever you have good, use it, everything, but in Krishna. Put Krishna in the center, rather than putting yourself that I am the enjoyer. Everybody is me and mine. Me means this body, and mine is all related to extended relationship, community, society, and district, town, state, and our country. Those are all because they are extended selfishness. The real selfishness is to serve Krishna, and through that you could serve. That is like watering the root. The root, if you water, then naturally, if you are watering the root, then whole tree becomes green and nice and luxuriant. And but if you try to worship, try to water the leaves or trees, branches, then it is all doomed. It's all get finished. So we should learn from these pages of Bhagavatam what is the real duty of the human being, how much they should enjoy in the material. They could enjoy more. Minute you have enjoying propensity, you suffer. Minute you give up your tendency to enjoy and have material enjoyment, a spiritual enjoyment, then you really enjoy that. Because we are a spiritual being. We are soul. We are not the body. And bodily enjoy is like a dream. And that is a daydream. And there is like a night dream. Everybody understands it's a false. And same thing, the daydream is also false because it is all concocted in the mind. So The happiness one enjoys in this way is like the pleasure embracing a young woman in a dream. For some time, it may be pleasing at that time when you are dreaming. But actually, the basic principle is false. The mental concoction of happiness and distress in this material world are compared to dreams because of their falseness. Why false? You think that I am enjoying, I am here. But because not only that there was, why it is false, the reason is that there is no beginning, there is no middle, we do not know when it will end. So they are all something which is not there in the beginning, something which is not there at the end. In the middle, what you see is temporary and false, because something is true, solid, like say, Krishna is Samam Bonam, he is the cause of everything, and relationship with him is permanent. Otherwise, it is false. It is false because there is no basis for that. It is going to get ended. And when it will end, we do not know. Param Satya, Param Satyam Dhimahi. So these things are false, and Satya, the truth, is that we are eternal servant of Krishna. And we should engage in service, and it will never end. It will always continue. If you have done 1%, in the next life it will be 1.1%, or begin from where you left. But in material world, everything is gone, finished. And then again you have to start all over again. And we have started these things time immemorial. There is no end to that. So material sense, although all thoughts of obtaining happiness by using the material senses have a false background and therefore have no meaning. This false. There is no meaning to the material sense enjoyment. So we'll discuss on these points. Particularly, we discuss that material enjoyment is temporary. It is going to go away. It is a dream, and we should accept the not just according to the three modes of material nature. Material nature is, but we should become transcendental to the three modes of material nature. One may elevate their like from ignorance to passion to the goodness, but we should go beyond goodness to Vasudev Sattva or Shuddha Sattva. That is what is needed. So this material life, the fallacy of the material life, that is the work. Pa means parishram, we work very hard. Pa is fennel, we froth in the mouth. Ba is vyartha, it is wasteless, waste of time. Bha is bhaya, we are always fearful. We don't want fear, we want so Ananda is bliss in Krishna consciousness, and Ma is Mrityu. Then we die. Then again take birth again. Who is dying? They have to take birth again. So in this way, the things go from one to another. So the materialism, forgetfulness of our real nature, that we are a spirit soul part of Krishna. Conditioned soul forgets his self-interest and our eternal relationship with Krishna. Due to bodily identification, we feel that it is I am the body. Attracted by the varieties of material world, we suffer. The Maya, that Lord's Maya, has created the material conception of life that distinguishes people as friends and enemies. So everybody, we are all part and we are all brothers. Means our Jivera Swarup Krishna Nitya Das eternally, and soul could be male, female, any, it doesn't matter. So this enjoying propensity, we are like in a blind well, and there is a calculated analysis that out of 100 years, that is Prahlad Maharaj is giving that, wasted by 50 years in sleeping, 20 years in childhood, 20 years in old age, and the remaining years in family attachment. So the strength of material attachment, it is artha, trashna, which, so thieves, servants, merchants try to get money even by risking their lives. The happiness and blessings in this world are as insubstantial as a mirage in a desert. Like a deer just runs towards the mirage, thinking there is a water. He runs, but it goes further and further away. So there is really no happiness in the material world. It is just based on faulty assumption, and the consequences are very grave. What happens? Inclination towards Krishna is never aroused. by others' instruction. When we go behind materialism or material enjoyment in the material life, then we would not hear to the these instructions given by the saintly people. By our own effort, if we are in the material like a Bhavsagar, we cannot cross over. And even by combination of both, due to the uncontrolled senses, they enter hellish life and repeatedly chew the chew, chewing the chew. Matirna Krishna, Partha Swapova. So materialistic person is always frustrated, and they are called karmis in the attempt to attain better enjoyment. And there is no space for the Lord in material conception. The sinful material mind, absorbed in the lusty desire, cannot think of Supreme Lord's activities. And we go through transmigration caused due to the insatiable material desires. If we desire Krishna, Krishna is so kind that he is willing to take us to his own kingdom. If he desires so, lolyam api ekle mulyam. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. The size. Okay. Anyway, so in material life there is no space for the Lord. We cannot put our foot on both places. In the both places means either we are in the spiritual side or material side. But we cannot put, say, in a boat, you have to put your both foot on the boat to cross over. We cannot put on that let me enjoy material life. Maybe at the end of the life I will take to Krishna consciousness. That does not, that conception does not work. You have to be fully absorbed in Krishna. I start with the together, but then gradually you have to give up your thought of sense enjoyment. Only whatever is necessary to keep the body and soul together, you could enjoy dharma, artha, kam, moksha, kam. These three were is there, but not there to just enjoy to the fullest extent, but according to scriptural injunction. Kamosmi Bharatar Sabha. It should not be against the basic principles of Krishna consciousness. You can produce children, you could eat nicely, offer to Krishna, have center, have a nice, beautiful house, but the center should be Krishna. So Krishna should be always, and we should always think of Krishna and take care of us. So this transmigration is there. It is a fact. People may say, I die, everything is gone, but it's not fact. Everything is not gone. You could continue. Your life goes to another body according to the thoughts. Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. But according to whatever that you are thinking, you take that body at the time of death. If you are thinking about Krishna, you could go to Krishna planet. If you are thinking about something to serve Krishna, you could become a servant. But if you are thinking to enjoy material life, like thinking like a dog or cat or camel or then you take that kind of life. So an attached householder with uncontrolled senses is bound strongly by the ropes of affection for his family and cannot be liberated. You want to say we should not give affection to our children, or no, you give affection, but in terms of Krishna, that Krishna has given me this husband or wife or child or parents because that is under my care. He has given me to serve them. So we should serve as a matter of duty, but not attach that is all in all. That is extended selfishness. So that should be remembered. And it always creates embarrassment if we don't take to Krishna. The ever distracted senses constantly embraces the conditioned soul, who is like person with many wives. Everybody's pulling. If somebody has even 5 wives, they are pulling legs or hands or head or where you would go. So these senses are like wives to the soul. Soul is, I'm not saying that soul is male or female. Soul is neither male nor female, but it is disastrous result. You cannot enjoy with that kind of. So this material conception is always ends in failure. It is temporary by the whether it is a riches or wife or animals or children or residents, many kind of luxuries, it is all perishable. It could go in a moment, and So even heavenly happiness is temporary. So we should not desire to go to the heavenly planet. One may say that one should not become rich. If you have a riches by your past life, you use it in Krishna consciousness. Printing books. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says that sell all the marble in the temple and print books and distribute. Bring the fallen souls who are away from Krishna consciousness at the lotus feet of Krishna. So do Sankirtan movement, give books, give prasadam distribution, make a nice temple and invite people to come and change their consciousness by gradual giving them your association. Have nice kirtan, go to the Sankirtan movement. What Prabhupada did was he opened temples, he printed books, he sent his devotees to preach to them, to bring them to the temple, give them the taste of Krishna consciousness. So that way the single person met millions of people towards Krishna. So that is the duty he showed us by his practical example. It is not just a theory, but it is he followed in his own life. So there is a constant fear. We want happiness, but there would be fear. Even a wealthy man is insecure due to being a victim of senses and out of fear of government, laws, thieves, enemies, family members, animals, beggars, and so on. So it is a defeat. Absorption in family maintenance, kutumba bharanenava, leads to exhaustion of life span and defeat of the real purpose of human life. One's long life opulence and power will be vanquished within a moment. I saw a man who was very sinful, and then he was in a motorcycle, but somehow he fell down, and it was so much this kohara or frost. So people were just running on his body. So many cars, they could not see him. And then he practically was, anybody could not even recognize him that there is a dead body underneath. And they were just passing by. So he was sinful man, just within a moment, he was on his motorbike, fell down. So these things happen. And we may feel that, oh, I'm enjoying this ride. I'm very, so we may utilize ourselves that I'm the enjoyer, but we are not the enjoyer. We have to enjoy Krishna. Krishna Sene. He is the root cause. Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara, Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigra, Anadir Adir Govind. He is the beginning. And we are the means, but we have our beginning is from Krishna. Anadir, he don't have any cause. But Adir, we have Adi. We have our beginning from Krishna. Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of everything. And he is the real Bhokta. We have that we think that I am the master, I am enjoyer, I am the owner, and these things are all false. We come naked and go naked. Sikandar the Great, when he died, he asked his doctors to lie down. His all the wealth was around, and he said, "Put my hands out of the coffin and both hands open, that I am not taking anything." One Punjabi man invited Guru Nanak to his home. He was very rich, and he had many flags indicating that he had so many crores of rupees. And then when he came to the car to see Guru Nanak, he said that, what are these? Because I don't have to count my money. If I have 100 flags, I have 100 crores. He said that, oh, you have so much, you have done so much practice. Take my this pin from my pagdi and bring it up and give it to me at that time. He says, I cannot take it, anything. How I could bring it there to you? And he said that, why did you do so much kabada, so much efforts to earn this and so many trees? And so it is a false thinking I am so rich by seeing all this. So rich is that when you use those money for Krishna consciousness. So how we could get out of this materialism? That is the real question. When the Lord is pleased, once animal intelligence, Pashu Buddhi is destroyed. Pashu Buddhi means to enjoy the senses. And one does not make distinction of friends and enemies. And whatever comes in our way, we try. What can come out of materialistic life? Performing bhakti, material happiness of the senses can be obtained automatically. See, whatever is there in our fate, that automatically you'll enjoy. You don't have to make extra effort, but we have to make the effort to turn ourselves to Krishna. One need not endeavor for separately. It is better to utilize one's human life to perform bhakti. Solution is that by keeping aloof from the association of demons and taking shelter of Lord Narayan or his devotees, one can be liberated from the material bondage. The material intelligence should be destroyed. How? By Krishna consciousness, by chanting regularly. Polluted intelligence entangles the jiva in material life, and we are in the three modes of material nature. By knowing the negative effects of the material desires, a devotee desires not to have any material desires. That is what Prahlad Maharaj asked, that please make me that I don't beg anything. I don't have any material desires. So although when Narsimhadev asked him more and more, then he said that please uh, get free my father, that he becomes. See, even after being killed by him, there are so many trouble, but he asked for his father, that he forgets his father's offenses because he wanted to kill Lord Vishnu. So he said that not only you, but your 14 generations ahead and 7 generations before you would be liberated. So how kind is Krishna? And just say one devotee in the family is how important it is. So we should give education to our children from very childhood that they become Krishna conscious. The material desires would be there, but it should not be material desire. How I could serve Krishna more. So an intelligent person should give up desire for prestige and money, which is hani, lav, jivan, maran, yash, apyash. Yash means prestige, which is the cause of lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, attachment, poverty, unnecessary labor. So by hearing about Krishna in good association, one gradually becomes detached from family affection, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. If we awaken, the same thing that we could give this family attachment by hearing about Krishna, that we should be attached to Krishna, cultivating satisfaction by giving up greed for material things. So anyway, there is many things that we can discuss about this thing. Just a little bit more about. One who has followed strictly the principles of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami, of course, he lived very simply, mendicant. He was a very, very rich man. His money was in the, like he gave 10,000 gold coins to his brother. He left with a grasser that to get release. So you think they never kept it. A small lion cloth and simple underneath to a tree. But simply by imitating his lion cloth, one does not become Rupa Goswami. One has to follow the principles of Rupa Goswami. Then it's called a Rupa Noga. We are all Rupa Nogas. Unless you become Rupa Noga, you cannot understand the Gaudiya philosophy. So this is called Parampara system. Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Vidu. If you follow the path of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, not that simply imitating his cloth, you must follow in principles all the rules and regulations. The idea of restriction, why we restriction one's senses after the age of 50 may seem like a good suggestion. It supports the idea of allowing one to do all whatever comes to the mind in one's youth. So it's not in the youth also, in the childhood also. Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram Acharet Pragya, that he should follow from the very 5-year age. And in old age, when senses cannot enjoy anyway, let some constraints be introduced. It seems that Srila Prabhupada, like, he did not like this kind of aphorism. Even though we may produce many good children, our desire for sex that is beyond the prescribed method is to be considered sinful. too much enjoyment of any of the senses, not only the sex, but any. One has to become a Swami or Goswami at the end of the life. Don't wait until you are older. Do it now. One should not await for old age in order to become Krishna conscious. Due to the invalidity of old age, one cannot make progress. And we know when we are old. We say we are.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you're muted.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj, we cannot hear you. I think your line got muted.
I am trying to ask Prabhuji to unmute. Nothing is happening.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a touch screen and he accidentally got it muted. Maharaj, we cannot hear you. If you can check the phone, if in case it got muted.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Now it's okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you, Maharaj. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
He muted himself again. Prabhuji, you muted again.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think you got muted again. Can you please unmute yourself? Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Okay.
I think sometimes when you get a call, when you're on Zoom, the phone automatically mutes you. I think something like that happened. Maharaj did not mute it. I think it got muted by itself.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Can you hear us?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we could not hear the last 2 or 3 minutes, Maharaj. It got muted.
Yeah, because I was on another phone. Yeah, they were there.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Maharaj.
So if you have any, if you have any comments or questions, we can discuss. There is some emergency. There is some electric switch is default. So I have to go down, and there are some other duties have come. So please tell me if there is any quick question. Okay.
Yeah. No, Maharaj, thank you very much for the nice class. I think we all have to discard our material association and get more spiritual. Yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
You should become Rupanuga. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this wonderful
Thank you.
class.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krapa sindhu bevacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Anantakoti Jai Shri
Dev
Bhagavatam
Jai
Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Shyam Sundar Prabhu Ji Ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.